And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. My name's Zach, and today what we're going to be talking about is how prison, more or less, can really fuck with your head. So as I said before, if you haven't already done it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell notification button so you'll be first informed when I upload. Everyone's prison experience is different. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's personality's different, along with everyone's prison stay being different with different prisons. But everyone has something in common. The moment that you get locked up, right? I'm not sure what it is. There might be some big brain, doctor medical jargon that can explain what it actually is. But it's like slowly you start to depart from actual society, from life itself. Now stuck in a cage. Now don't get me wrong, it's most of the time it's your fault for being put in these positions. You're the one that went out, did whatever it is that you did to get yourself locked up. Obviously this isn't for the ones that are really innocent. This is for the ones that are guilty. What we start to do, it's like what I can speak on is obviously my personal experience. I've had conversations with people while still locked up, getting their opinion on, this feeling. So it's like you start withdrawing, right? So you automatically have, before you even get out, you feel so empowered. The drive that you have in prison to want to do good once you get out, that drive is at 1,000,000%. You know what I'm saying? In your head, you have all these dreams and all these goals, and you're sitting there, you're daydreaming of how you're gonna get out and how you're gonna have this house and how you're gonna have these kids, and you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get this fantastic job, and that's great. To have that type of energy to want to do good is perfect. But the problem is, when it really comes down to it, now some people really can, and do achieve these things. But for a majority of us, when we get out, the moment we go to try to get a job, we get the door slammed in our face, then obviously that 1,000,000% that we had in prison now gets knocked down to about 100%. Okay? Now you go somewhere else, you get the door slammed in your face. Now, it obviously keeps going down. The ones that are in prison and they see this, everyone getting out and coming back, getting out and coming back, people start to lose hope. Because they feel like there is no hope. We do wrong, we go to prison, we face the consequences that obviously we deserve. But when we get out, society more or less tells us, right? Since that's how everything is, right? Society tells us that we have to do good and we have to get back out here and start more or less getting back into society, right? That expects us to do good is the same ones that reject us at the same time. People look down upon you if you mark on that box that, yes, I'm a felon. Or yes, I've been convicted of a crime, of a misdemeanor, of whatever it may be. People automatically shut their doors. So how do you expect somebody to get out to want to do good, but you don't allow them to do good, then you frown upon them for not doing good? Now they have to go and sell drugs, or they have to go and steal something to provide for either themselves or their families. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how people get stuck in these cycles. More or less, people want to be accepted. They want to know that they're still loved. They want to know that they're relevant, right? Most people will go back to prison because they're more relevant in prison than they are on the streets. Because on the streets out here, right, they're just another body out of the 8-9 billion bodies out here. You got 1,500 people, more or less. If you're a feared individual, or if you're known for doing this or known for doing that years and years, you know what I'm saying? With prison, there's only so much going on. Like, think of prison, alright? If you were to be standing outside of prison, okay, you see the gates and you see the razor wire and you see the fences and the guard tires and all the, and all the guns, right? If you're staying on outside of the fence, obviously life, this is what's going on. Actuality, life, right? You go over that fence, it's a completely different world. Everything that's going on in there is irrelevant to us that's out here, more or less. And then vice versa. They've got their own structure that's going on. You know, you've got your presidents and you've got your, you know, there's a lot of politics going on. So that sucks up a lot of part of their time. Plus, you've got so many gangs and so much violence and drugs going on. Like it's literally like a city. Workers in a city run around trying to make money and living life, more or less, how they're living life in there. Even if you get out and you try to do good, right? You know, with me, with my crimes not being violent and not, you know, being drug related, I was therefore able to get my medical degree. But even trying to show that I can do good, people don't understand how much it'll mess with you when they keep shutting you out. How do you expect me to prove to you that I've changed and that I'm ready to be out here as a regular civilian, paying my taxes and everything else, right? But you don't give me a chance. Do you want me to go out and so it's like a lot of time in interviews, if I don't make it right, I look at them, it's like, do you want me to sell drugs? Because if you're not going to give me a shot, right, to prove myself, who's going to give me a shot? If the next person doesn't give me a shot, who is? I mean, how do you expect us to prove ourselves if you refuse to let us prove ourselves? You know what I mean? Being institutionalized is a real thing. Most people don't have bills. Most people don't have worries while they're in prison. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you get money sent to you, then you're just living there and eating and living life, more or less. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with your homeboys, talking about shit that you used to do and talk about shit that you would, you know, like to do in the future. So you have no responsibilities. So when you start living this comfortable lifestyle and you come out here to the real world where they see that life is real. If you don't pay these bills and you don't eat, more or less, well, how can I get to work? I don't have a car. You can't get a car. Some people don't have the opportunities of getting a ride dropped off to even start working somewhere, more or less. So then they literally can't get a job because they have no ride to and from. They're back in the same circle because they're in the same neighborhood where all their homeboys out here on the corner making big money selling dope. Shoot, I'm going to go back out here in the same corner and do the same thing I got caught doing earlier. Because it's the only thing that they have. You know, not everyone's perfect, man. Like, I am not perfect. I'm not about to judge the next person at all. It's not my place. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how people are so fast to judge. You know what I'm saying? People will know nothing about your life, and they'll be the first to judge you real fast, right? If they're watching you and they don't agree with something that you're saying or something that you're doing, now they're gonna judge the fuck out of you. Even if you're trying to do good, right? Even if you're trying to bring awareness for this, or if you're trying to help people through this, if people are going through the same situation as you are, right? And you've been there, you've seen the end result, you know where it'll take you, right? So then you turn around, see the ones that are coming up the ladder that you just came up, and you tell them, stop. This is where it's going to take you. Please turn around so that you don't have to go through what I did. Won't have to go through what he did, what she did, what they did. It's like, if you want to succeed, right, you obviously want to know what you have to do to prevent any negativity preventing you to get to the top, right? If I've went through some of these things and I've seen where it's taken me, I'm going to try to help the next person so that they never have to go through that. So if you want to criticize somebody that's trying to help people not go down the wrong path, If you want to criticize on someone that's trying to help someone else out that doesn't even know them, what does that make you? You can't put too much strain on people that have felonies or people that have a record. Now, don't get me wrong, there's certain things obviously that I frown upon. Doing violent things to people that don't deserve it and hurting ones that don't deserve it, more or less. The weak, the young, the anything, it doesn't matter. And then also anybody messing with kids in any type, form or way, or any type of rape or any of the, obviously any of that stuff. You might have more money, or you might have this car, or you might have this or these clothes, or you might dress this way and you might look this way, but we're all the same individuals. If you strip everything down, take everything else away, we are the same. My skin might be a little bit darker in pigmentation than yours, but we're the same person. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no difference. Power holds what? Because there's some people in power that deserve no power at all. Spread rotten, disgusting, evil things, more or less. But I guess at the end of the day, that's all people really want to see, to be honest with you. A lot of people don't want to see the positivity in things. People just want to see negative, death, destruction, all the nasty stuff, more or less. When I was in there, all I wanted to do was to prove that I wasn't a piece of shit, more or less. What it boils down to. You know, for the ones that I did wrong to, you know, I greatly apologized for the bad things that I've done, you know, in my lifetime. You know, people know what it is, and that part of my life, I don't regret it. It made me who I am today. You know, obviously I do wish things changed. You know, obviously I wish I went down a different route, but at the end of the day, I may not have this mindset that I do now if I didn't go through all that stuff in the past life. Like, you know, I don't know if I would have been in the medical field. You know, I don't know if I would have ever even wanted to hop on YouTube and try to help people that might be going through the stuff that I did, or could be going through it right now, or that have already went through this stuff years ago, and now they're looking back and seeing the younger ones, myself, that's going through this, but they're just telling their story. You know, there's people out there that I know that have done bukus of prison time and that are super successful now. They just didn't tell their story. You know, me, I would love to have anybody, I would love to interview anybody that's gone through prison and has now came out and has been able to flourish out here in society, regardless of what people have tried to put on your back or have tried to hold you back. You know, turn the fuck around and climb up. And if you see other people that's also climbing, don't try to knock them down. What do you gain trying to knock someone else down, trying to do better for themselves? I mean, I don't understand what people gain from this stuff, you know what I mean? When you go to prison, you can either come out with a drive so strong that nothing else matters, or you can come out feeling sorry for yourself, right? And wanting people to more or less pity you for what you went through. At the end of the day, you have to pick up those reins, kick that horse in high gear, and haul ass, because no one's gonna live life for you. No one's gonna hand you this. No one's gonna hand you that. I don't glorify prison at all. Even though, because prison is not gonna be the same as it was for you than it was for me, or is, whatever. It's not going to be the same. I can promise you that. I don't glorify it at all. Even though I had, as I said, I had fun in prison. And that's why I'm doing this. Every video I do, I remind myself more and more of how much I don't want to go back. I know I would be fine. But that's the thing. I don't want to spend my life in prison because I know it's easy. Yeah, getting up at early in the morning, going to work for 13 hours a day is the last thing I want to do. But that's what we're supposed to do, right? Society, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go to work, get a job, buy a house, buy a car, live our life out, die, generation next. Joining a gang isn't about taking pictures and throwing up different signs and rocking different colored bandanas. If you look in each other one though, doesn't matter what set it is, what gang organization. It all stems back to wanting to grow as individuals and as a group to make yourself better. It doesn't matter which one it is. That's literally the core root of almost every single last one of them. It wasn't against themselves. That's not what it was against. It wasn't against this block and this block. It was these blocks against the authorities. And then you can be rocking the same colors, but then be beefing with each other. It was all supposed to be unity, more or less. That's what gangs are about, is unity. Now it's all like, what can I get for myself and use everyone else to gain and get to the top? You see a lot of motherfuckers online banging some shit. They couldn't tell you the symbols. They couldn't tell you what means this. Why? Well, why? Why did the founders go ahead and start some stuff up? People couldn't tell you that shit. They know some literature. They know they're supposed to bang this, and if they see this other color, they're supposed to smash on them. I've seen a lot of OG Crips wearing red, OG Bloods wearing blue. All the young cats, though, you see them schwacking out the B's and schwacking out the C's. Like, you know what I'm saying? First off, that's real disrespectful anyways. Because your big homie told you that's dummy. Don't be a crash dummy. Don't do that. Start using your brain and start thinking for yourself, opposed to letting the next man think for you and dictate your actions. Now you're in a whole hole. You ain't getting out of the whole hole. So as always, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to get another video coming up with a couple more inmates here in West Virginia prison systems. So as always, if you haven't already done it, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. While you at it, go ahead, hit that bell notification so you're first informed when I upload. Send my utmost love, loyalty, respect. Keep your heads up. Have a good day.